All right, guys, I'm back with another video for you today. I've got Mike here from room 1015. Look at this.
Hello, hello.
So we are going to talk about room 1015 fragrances today, and especially WAVECHILD, this new fantastic fruity fragrance for summer that's just launching now, right?
Exactly, launched 21st of March.
So it's already been out.
Yes.
But Mike is here for an event at Ministry of Scent because that's the store that sells room 1015 fragrances. If you're curious to learn about room 1015, then please stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's Sebastian. It's Mike here.
Hey, hey.
Thanks so much for coming to the studio.
Thank you.
What do you think about this place?
It's the first time I see something like this. I'm quite impressed by the collection.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So it's more perfume than I have home.
Yeah. It's perfume overdose,
Than
probably.
I will ever have home.
So, let's talk a little bit about your brand and how it got its start.
Yes.
Yeah, tell me.
So, it's a long story. Should I make the long story short?
Yeah. Give me the edited version.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm a pharmacist and I'm also a musician.
A pharmacist musician.
Exactly. So
wow.
I always played music since the age of 11 years old, and I always knew I wanted to be a musician, and I always knew, or I was hoping that I would end up in music, working with music. So, but then I was also very fond of chemistry, biology, and all this. It's a bit of a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde situation. So, the idea was, okay, I was playing music, but I was also studying to the point where when I got my degree as a pharmacist, I got the opportunity to choose between music or a normal life. So I chose the music, of course, and I moved to London with my band. That used to be called Rodeo Massacre. It was like a
Rodeo Massacre?
Exactly.
Wow.
It was a psychedelic rock band, and so we had the most beautiful years of blossom in London, and we traveled a lot. We met incredibly talented people. We collaborated with incredible musicians. And but then the experience stopped, but I was happy I got to do it for 5 years.
So this was only for 5 years, the band?
Yeah, well, 10 years, but it's only after 5 years, because when I was doing my studies, I was already having the band.
Oh, okay.
So I was doing, part-time studies, part-time music. So yeah, then after it stopped, and I had to go back to France, back to Paris, back to a normal job.
A pharmacist job?
Exactly. So that was really...
Does that get boring?
It was really hard. More than boring, it was hard because I was used to some kind of freedom and creativity. And even though I enjoyed a lot the cosmetics and the formulation and everything, I was missing the creative part. And I remember being at the pharmacy and be like, what can I do? I'm lost between chemistry and music, and it's the opposite things,
Yeah, very opposite.
So, and I remember I was selling some fragrances at the pharmacy because it was an unusual pharmacy.
Interesting.
Called the British American Pharmacy in Paris. And we were selling Barber products, and it was close to the opera. And we were selling, Barber products and cologne and all this. And I remember I had the cologne in my hand. I was like, oh my God, it's here. It's in front of me since like the beginning. I want to do my perfume brand in order to tell stories linked to everything that I like: counterculture, freedom, rebellion, music, all this. And that's how I got the idea, really, and I felt it was the crossroads between chemistry and art and music. So that's how I got the idea. And then it's funny how the universe works, because at the same time that I got this idea, I met Anne-Sophie Biagel and Amélie Bourgeois.
This is when? What year was this?
2014.
Oh, okay. So 10 years ago.
Exactly.
Wow. Yeah. Has the brand been around that long?
I launched in 2015. So next year will be my 10th year anniversary. Yeah.
So 10 years almost.
Yeah. Yes. It's like, some people would say it's a long time, but it's like having a band. You don't become big like that. You don't get to sell worldwide like this in perfume either. It takes time. It takes time to to know how you want to develop it. It takes time to discover it, especially for me because I come from music and pharmacy. So it's like it took some years, to discover it, and now I'm having like the most fantastic time of my life.
That's great. Like, traveling all over the world with your brand.
Being on tour almost. And it's like, no, I like the creativity and the link. It doesn't matter if I create in music or in fragrance or in photography or whatever. As long as I create, I'm happy.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So you launched in 2015 with how many fragrances?
3 fragrances.
And what were they?
Electric Wood, Blue Macult, and Atramental. And why the 3? It was because I wanted to tell a story from the beginning, like to introduce myself. I'm a guitarist, so I did an electric guitar fragrance, like a fragrance inspired by the smell of an electric guitar.
Okay.
A Gibson, exactly, like when you open the case.
Makes sense.
I was listening and I was playing to psychedelic music, so I wanted to do a perfume inspired by sexual revolution, hippie era back in the 70s.
You're in the right place, San Francisco.
Patchouli, exactly. Patchouli and, flower power. And another fragrance was inspired by the tattoo experience. So very inky, very leathery. So that was a way to define myself and to introduce myself when I came up with the brand. As no one would know about the brand, I thought it was a good idea to create fragrance to show my personality.
So the 3 fragrances you launched with, what were they again?
Electric Wood, Blue Macult, and Atramental.
Okay, those
yes,
3.
Those 3, yes.
Those are your first 3 fragrances, but I think 2 of them are no longer, right?
Yeah, I just stopped them actually last year.
But Electric Wood is still selling.
Electric Wood, yes. Yeah, but it's not a question of selling, really. It's a question of I think I can make better with these stories. I believe I can make better because I learned these years, and I feel it can be made in a better way. So they will probably come back in a different way.
So when did you launch Cherry Punk? Because I think Cherry Punk is what put you on the map, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like, again, it's like in music. Yeah.
Cherry Punk. This is the Extrait de Parfum version, which came out last year.
It came out in October, yeah. Yes.
But you launched the original in 2020?
2020, exactly.
Okay.
So we started to work on it in 2019. So yeah, the idea was just to create a fragrance inspired by punk aesthetic. So the Vivienne Westwood era of the late 70s in London, with the leather jacket, the vinyl pants, the colored hair, the mohawk. So that was the idea. I wanted a fragrance that is like opulent and really screaming like I'm a punk. So I wanted to work with black leather, of course, because of the the jacket with the studs and all this.
It's very leathery.
Yeah, patchouli for the rebel side, and also to send you back in time a little. It's like to me, the patchouli has this rebel kind of vibe.
Yeah, I love patchouli, my favorite note.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Who did you work with on Cherry Punk?
Jérôme Epinette.
Okay.
Yeah, Jérôme Epinette, and. But yeah, so my idea was just to pay a tribute to this era and to this subculture of punk, as the brand likes to pay tribute to music, fashion, everything that is linked to freedom, to rebellion. So I'm a lot about this. I've always been a rebel without a cause. So I didn't expect it to actually be such a success.
Yeah, it became a success, and that's one of the reasons why people launch a flanker of it, right? Is that why you launched the Extrait de Parfum?
It's been a real fashion about cherry. Like 1 year after I launched Cherry Punk, I don't really explain it. I don't know why. Because Tom Ford was here before,
Yeah, but they're different.
No, it's very. I mean, I didn't know. I didn't smell Tom Ford before, and I got the idea of the cherry simply because my friend who is listening to punk music has a cherry tattooed here.
Oh,
so it's not like I was.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's not at all that I was. Oh, I like Tom Ford, I want to do something. I knew Lost Cherry. I never smelled Lost Cherry, and I just smelled it when I was in LA. That was like 2 years ago, something like this. I didn't know it before. So it's like, I have a tendency to not wanting to smell a lot of fragrance. I do this a bit with music.
You're in the wrong place.
No, but it's not that I love it. It's not the question. It's I don't want to be inspired by anything.
I agree with that.
So I create my own path, and if people follow, it's great. And I believe watermelon is the new cherry.
Oh, okay.
For this summer, at least.
Before we go on to WAVECHILD, tell us the difference between the original and the extrait.
The olfactive pyramid, the construction is the same. You still have the cherry and the strong leather base. I would say that the extrait is less floral.
Okay.
You feel less the violet and the jasmine notes. It gives more space to rebellion, to the strong leather. And I think it's interesting when you develop extrait to work more on the materials, the deepness and the strength of the perfume, of course. And I thought boosting the leather notes would be the way to go for this one.
I noticed the leather is stronger with it, which is what I like about it.
Yes. Yeah. It is a mother.
Say that again. So let's go on to WAVECHILD. WAVECHILD is the newest fragrance.
Yeah.
Really good, actually. And I'm not a watermelon. Well, I love to eat watermelon, but I don't like to wear it.
Okay.
But this is delicious. Can we smell it?
I'm happy to hear. Yeah. But I like to push the boundaries, and this is so much fun to smell.
It's a fun and playful, fruity fragrance.
Yeah.
But what's the creaminess there I'm getting? There's something creamy under
there is something called Orcanox and something else called I don't remember the name, but it's a cacao. You have cacao and Ambergris, basically, if you want to name it by the real names. Yeah,
that's really good.
So there is a creaminess to it, and the citrus at the beginning just makes it so playful. And then comes the watermelon and the coconut.
That's really good.
I'm in love with this one. It was a challenging fragrance to launch, in the sense it took me almost 3 years to develop it.
Wow, 3 years.
Yeah.
So did you start working on this when Cherry Punk finished?
Exactly. Yeah. That was even before, I think. It was at least the mood boards were here before. Yeah.
There's a bit of a candy vibe here.
Yeah, but because you're from California, so for you the watermelon candy is or the watermelon chewing gum. Yeah. Watermelon sugar. So that's the.
So where did you come up with the name WAVECHILD?
Yeah, I had met a surfer in Los Angeles, and this guy is an art student, and he surf in the morning, surf in the evening. His dad is a surfer. His little brother is a surfer.
Wow. Surfing family.
Yeah, and they basically grew up by the sea, surfing all the time. And when you hear him speaking, you're like, oh my God, I was like, he's such a child of the waves. He was born in the waves. And it just came from that. And I thought, like, oh, child of the waves is very nice. Let's make it like WAVECHILD. I don't know.
Okay.
I love to, it's part of the creative thing that I love is to find names. And that's what we do with music. You know, when you have to find a name for a band or for a song, and you're like, yeah, this is cool. So it's like, I like this part of the creative thing, you know, like creating the mood board, the brief, the visual, and the name. I really like it.
When you worked with this perfumer, Jerome de Marino, what kind of a brief do you give him? Like, do you give him photos? You write a couple of paragraphs?
Yeah, I wrote basically, of course, the spirit that I wanted. So something fun. The main notes that I wanted, that was coconut and watermelon.
So there's coconut in here too?
Yes.
Okay. That's where we're getting the creaminess. You said cacao and coconut?
But it's more, I don't feel it, I personally don't feel it like a creamy coconut. It's more like coconut water to me. Wow. But then it's a personal...
Maybe.
Personal feel.
Both creamy. Maybe there's some sandalwood.
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. It's the cacao.
It's the cacao. I guess it's the cacao. For me, it's the cacao. Okay. But you know, the perfumer might add some stuff that
secret ingredients.
Yeah, it's like his signature. You know.
Okay.
Like the violet of Jérôme Epinette.
Oh. Okay.
But. No, I think Jerome Epinette. Yeah, he put a violet in a lot of perfumes. Yeah, Cherry Punk, there is violet.
Oh, he does. He does it for Byredo a lot. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
He does have a secret violet
I think also
ingredient.
1015 and Holy Rose, they have a bit of violet. So and saffron. He likes saffron. I think, I don't know.
Okay.
I'll ask him. I'm going to meet him in New York next week.
Ah, okay.
What was I saying?
WAVECHILD, creamy.
Yeah, WAVECHILD,
the name.
creamy. Wait, the name. Okay, we have it. And
Surfers.
I lost it now.
Candy.
Candy. Yeah.
LA.
Yeah, LA. You got the vibe.
So it's selling now.
Yes, and
it is good, you guys. It's really, really good. Is watermelon the next cherry? The new cherry?
I like to say so for the summer.
But these two are totally different fragrances.
Yeah, it's different stories.
This is fruity, but with a punky attitude. This is more very like
freedom,
free and fun and fancy free or whatever that term is.
I would say this is more heavy and aesthetic. This is more fun and playful.
Yeah. And also very young energy.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
WAVECHILD.
Yeah, WAVECHILD. And that's why you're here in San Francisco, because of the launch of this fragrance over at Ministry of Scent.
Yes, we're doing an event.
And how long have you been selling at Ministry of Scent?
It's been a year now, I think.
Or I think it's been longer.
Yeah, maybe 2 years. You know, time flies. I'm like...
Hey, I know your fragrances have been there for a while.
It might be 2 years, actually.
I think it might even be 3 years.
But it's funny because we started and it was like, I said to her, look, there's a big demand. I said to Ineke, you know, there's big demand on cherry punk. And it started like this, you know. She trusted me with that. And now it's doing really well.
Cool.
It's good. I like to have... There's a few perfumeries like this in the world where it's like the vibe clicks. Humanly speaking, and also the connection with the fragrance and the people that work there. And when this happens, it's just magical. It's
so you enjoy working with Ministry of Scent?
Oh yeah, it's really, really nice. Yes,
that's awesome. So we've got a few more fragrances to talk about here. Let's talk about Sweet Leaf.
Yes.
With this beautiful green bottle. You know, it's cannabis.
Yeah.
Cannabis is a little complicated to wear.
I mean, it can be, but I think people are often scared when they see it's written cannabis.
It's not. It's good actually.
If I don't say it,
I forgot about it.
If it's not screaming, screaming cannabis. Like, oh, you're gonna smell cannabis when you walk at the customs at the airport.
No, it's good.
Some people write to me and be like, am I gonna have problems if I take the plane? And I'm like, no, of course not. But it's a very playful, again. I am a playful guy. Mm-hmm. Maybe I should have a channel called The Playful Guy.
Yeah, The Playful Guy and The Perfume Guy.
I'll be your main competitor.
Okay. No, actually, I'm wrong. This is really good. And you know what? My guest, I did a video on your fragrances.
Yeah.
That's her favorite fragrance.
Yeah, exactly, yes.
She loves this.
But no, it's playful. It's grapefruit. It's jasmine. It's eucalyptus. You have this very fresh tart, almost like a chewing gum. And then you have the cannabis accord under. And there is patchouli also, again, for the countercultural vibe, you know. But it is not like screaming cannabis.
There's a lot of cannabis going on here in San Francisco.
I know, in California in general. But it's, so yeah, it's a nice one. I'm very, I would say,
is that one of your best sellers?
Yeah, Cherry Punk, Sweet Leaf, and now WAVECHILD, I must say, since we just launched it 3 weeks ago, and it's sold out like almost now.
Wow, amazing!
So yeah, it's great.
Amazing. A few more. Sonic Flower.
Yes.
Tell me about Sonic. Oh wait, before we move on, who did Sweet Leaf?
Serge de Oliveira.
Oh, okay.
Yes. He has a very nice way of creating perfumes that are, to me, it works well when I have a theme that can be meditation or cannabis or this kind of like flying high stuff. I think Serge has a really nice signature. So I know what perfumer would be for what fragrance.
Okay.
And now that's the fun part now. It's like same thing when you record an album, you know that this drummer will be the one or this bass player will be good, this singer. It's funny.
It's great, yeah, the way you do that. So, Sonic Flower. Tell me about Sonic Flower. I think this one launched last year.
Last year, yeah, exactly, yes. Yeah, the idea was to create a fragrance that is quite simple, but weirdly, it has a bit of a sophisticated thing inside.
Iris.
Exactly. And the jasmine. So you have carrot seeds, you have jasmine, you have ambroxan, you have a lot of musk. And the inspiration was the women who changed the landscape of music over the year, like going from, can be Blondie, Joan Jett, it can be Lana Del Rey now, the way we produce music and the way we listen to it has really changed. And today, I don't know what is the percentage of like the female singer. It's huge if you compare to when I grew up in the 90s.
So many.
So it's a tribute to that, and it's a bit of a, let's say, it's a girl power thing. I pictured in my brief I pictured Blondie, just a t-shirt, pink lipstick, and that's enough. You don't need much. And I wanted a perfume that is a reflection of that.
Oh, wow. Sonic Flower. I guess it totally makes sense.
Thanks. Yeah, it's a nice one. It's a really...
Is that one of the best sellers?
Actually, the one you just picked up are the fourth one here. Sonic Flower.
Yeah, I picked these fragrances randomly, thinking these are some of my favorites.
Then it's a question of, it's subjective. Fragrances, it's like you can hate it, you can love it. I will find 100 person with 100 different.
Totally. It's very subjective.
Opinions,
And the last one we're going to talk about is Purple Mantra.
Yes.
This one I fell in love with. Is there incense in here?
Yeah, it's incense, sage. It's very mystical. The inspiration is the transcendental meditation. So the idea of being creative without the use of drugs, such as this one. You have this story that is about cannabis, and then you have the anti-drug, I would say, like the meditation. Meditation is a very useful tool to be more relaxed, to be more creative, and that's what the Beatles did back in the 60s, end of the 60s. They dropped LSD, they went to India, and they created the White Album under the influence of meditation. And when they came back to Europe, this was on the news everywhere. So that's how meditation became a thing. That's actually...
The Beatles did it.
They really took it from India. They took it to England first, and then it went, people wanted to do it as well. So it was a trend, and I actually experienced, I got very strong experiences, very weird experiences with meditation, and I thought this fragrance is a great tribute to a great practice. I
think that's become my favorite next to Cherry Punk.
It is the one I wear the most, actually.
It's very meditative, calming.
Yes. Yeah, you only have a calming ingredient. You have lavender, you have white flowers like freesia. It's incense and sage. Incense is the link between, traditionally, it's the link between earth and the gods. So it has this kind of like a mystical vibe. And the sage is the purificator. It purifies the atmosphere, get rid of the ghost.
But it doesn't smell like church.
No, it doesn't.
It's just very...
because you have the lavender and the jasmine.
Okay.
And the jasmine and the freesia. I'm so used to jasmine. I'm obsessed with jasmine.
No, guys, this is really good. Purple Mantra is really, really great. Who did Purple Mantra?
Serge de Oliveira.
Oh, wow. Yes. Okay, and then who did Sonic Flower?
Jérôme Epinette.
Okay, so you work with the same perfumers.
When I find a good connection, I have a tendency to keep it. I like to explore as well. I met Jérôme Marino last year, 2 years ago, and it's always amazing to meet new
up-and-coming perfumers.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
And this is your first fragrance with Jerome Marino?
Yes, yeah. And there will be another one next spring.
Oh, can you give us any clues?
Can I? Maybe I shouldn't. But since my obsession is Jasmine, you can guess.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you very much for having me.
Do you want to say any last things before we wrap up?
No. Peace out.
Peace out. Peace out, guys.
Yes.
So if you're in San Francisco, go check out Room 1015 Fragrances at Ministry of Scent. They're in the Mission District. And if you want to find out more, check out my video I did with Dahlia on the brand. It does not feature WAVECHILD. Anyway, thanks so much for watching today. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.